We've just finished our evening chanting with the reflection chanting on the Anatta Lakkhana Sutta. This Anatta Lakkhana Sutta is the discourse that the Buddha gave to the 5 ascetics for the first time. And this discourse was given in the Varanasi, where the Buddha was visiting these 5 ascetics at that time. And all these 5 ascetics, they had previous beliefs about the life, and they had the belief of the permanent soul, so-called atta. And this is, again, it is very common to accept those days at that time. The famous concept was the permanent soul and permanent entity, and everyone was looking towards it. Simply a reunion with the Atmans. So once the Buddha enlightened, he realized that these 5 aggregates also conditioned arose. This so-called soul also condition arose. As a result, the Buddha's intention to give this discourse is simply to clear their views about the impermanence of this 5 aggregates. So that's why it starts from Rupang Bhikkhave Anatta. So Rupang here means this body. The body that is made out of 4 elements, or according to the Abhidhamma, it is 28 different parts, combination coming to be, this being, this rupa, this form or a material. It is not belongs to us. We got it through mother and father. When mother is ready to have eggs, to the fertilizer, the fertile egg, and a father's sperm are healthy enough. When this sperm and ovum comes together, at that moment, as the sperm is just about to get in to the mother's womb, in the egg, that moment, according to Buddhist theory, says that the Gandhabba, the Vijnana, or the consciousness, will enter, and that's how conception starts. The birth begins. So this a sperm and ovum, or the egg, gradually expands, and that's how we receive this 4 element construct body. Now this is anatta, and here again it's talking about the not permanent or a non-self. Anatta is a non-self, atta is a self, and anatta is a non-self. So this body is non-self, not belongs to us. Saying rupancha hitang bhikkhave atta abhavissa. So abhavissa means it won't be atta or permanent. Rupancha hitang. This rupa will not be a permanent entity. We cannot claim it as a permanent. Nahitang rupang aphathaya samvataya. If we can control this should not be get old, or should not be get sick. Mm. So then meanwhile we can order it. Labhetha cha rupe. We would be able to order, we will be able to design this rupa, this form. Right? Evang me rupang hoti. I wish that this body is as I wish it to be. Like when we are young, we want our body to be young, like that. Evang me rupang ma ahositi. And also, I wish that my body will not be as I don't like it to be. Like we don't want to be get old. We don't want to be get sick. We don't want to be hungry. But this is a natural fact that it is subject to get old, subject to sickness, and subject to decay and dissolve. Yasmajako bhikkhave rupa anatta. So that's why this rupa, this material object, is anatta, non-self. Tasma rupang apadhaya sangvatati. So it gets sickness and old, and we cannot order, we cannot control. As this is should be, this is like this and like that. That's why this rupa is anatta, non-self. It's not belongs to us. And it goes on, the Buddha goes on dividing into different parts, like our body, according to Buddha's teaching, divided into two major parts, that is, rupa and nama. And a nama here, again, is combination of four factors, that is Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. Vedana here, feelings, Sanya, perception or memories, and Sankhara is karma formation or will, and the Vijnana is consciousness. And in that sense, the our life or our human beings divided into five categories known as aggregates. So rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana. On this discourse, Buddha goes explaining all these five aggregates one after another. And after rupa, Buddha explains the vedana or a feeling. Feeling is also anatta. A feeling is also anatta, saying vedana anatta. So feeling is also non-self. It's not the self, or it's not a permanent entity. And vedana jahitang bhikkhave atta abhavis. So vedana also is not a permanent entity, and goes on. Similarly, we cannot order, we cannot shape it. It's already there. As soon as two things comes together, then this Vedana arises. It goes on with the Sanya, the perception, or memory, also not self, non-self. And Sankhara also non-self because condition arose, and Vijnana is also non-self. We cannot make it, we cannot take control over it. So that Buddha further on saying that Tanking manyata bhikkhave rupang nityang va anityang. So Buddha is asking to all these five monks, saying that such rupa or such a body, what do you think? Is it permanent or impermanent? And then the monks reply, this is impermanent. And the things that is impermanent, say yampana nityang, dukhang va tang sukhang vati. Is it suffering or is it happiness? So things that is condition arose and that's so impermanent. What do you think? And then the monks reply, dukhang bhante. So this is suffering because it's a condition that arose. And then yampana nityang dukhang viparinama dhammang kallang nutang samanupasito etang mama eso hamasami eso me atati. So the things that is not belongs to us, and that's impermanent, and it's a natural truth that is taking place. Do you think that you can see it as yours, as it belongs to you? And the monk said, no, Hetang Bhante, it's not. And similarly, Vedana, the feeling, Sanya, the perception, Sankhara, the karma formation, and Vijnana are also subject to anicca and subject to dukkha, the suffering, cannot take it as a sukhang or a happiness. So, and doesn't matter whether that is rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana, they are impermanent, and because of impermanent, we cannot accept it as a subject to bring a happiness, but only suffering, and that we cannot claim is belongs to us, or that is you, or that is belong, or that we are. And then further on goes on saying that the rupa, the body that is in the past, in the future, and in the present, or is it outside and inside, or in the subtle and the subtle and big and small, these are also not belongs to us, that is not me, so on. And the feelings and perception, karma formation, and consciousness are also like that. So after the end of the discourse, these five ascetics realized that and these five aggregates are impermanent, subject to suffering and non-self. And that's how rupasmim binipin, that the attachment to this body dissolves, become a dispassionate. Vedana, feelings, and sanya, perception, sankhara, and vijnana. So this passion develops and liberates, achievement of liberation, and with that liberation, their birth been destroyed, and holy life have been fully lived, and the things that one should be doing, it's been complete, and nothing and remain, everything has been known. And with this is how all these five ascetics also attained the arhat after the end of this discourse. And that was the moment Buddha had um, first five disciples become an arhat, and then the moment there were six arhat appeared at the end of this discourse. So that's why this discourse is one of the very fundamental teachings of non-self, the teachings on non-self, that Buddha was talking on it, that our life, which is the combination of five aggregates, the rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana, are subject to impermanence, and things that is impermanent because of condition arose, it is subject to bring suffering. The moment when we grasp, or the moment when we hold on to, or the moment when we get it, that is the starting of getting suffering. And but meanwhile, these are the natural phenomena that will arise and eventually will fade and destroys. So we have no control over it. We cannot keep it as we wish it to be. And so that's why this is also non-self. And to summarize, Buddha's teaching is the ultimate goal is to understand this non-self. A person who attains the Nibbana, one has fully understood the anatta non-self theory incomplete. So with this reflection, now we'll do the practice of a loving, we'll practice of a meditation, would like to invite you all to sit in a comfortable position and relax yourself, leave all your responsibilities and all the burdens and all the things that you have been performing and been doing. Now, this is time to let it free yourself and enjoy the moment that you have here and now and relax yourself. If your mind is still wandering, restless, use any object that you are familiar with to pay attention to and let the mind settle and relax. Once the mind settled, and then gradually reflecting on your body and your thoughts and feelings, whether that is the same in the past and now, or whether these are changed over the period of a time. So, reflecting on that and continue practicing.